I don't know what's wrong with him, but he will not get out of our truck.
It's a wrap. Looks like they want you out.
I couldn't breathe.
No games. Get out.
Did you take me to the hospital, man?
No.
You'll freak out too if you can't breathe.
I hear you. I probably try to control myself a little bit better.
What an asshole. How do you know how you're going to react when you're choking to death?
I'm not going to grab on anybody.
You grab on people every day, you lying jackboot thug pig.
Sidewalk's right over there.
Look at all those cops that are there to get a guy out of an ambulance who's asking for help.
Is that blood or is it?
Yeah, it's blood.
That is disgusting. He collapsed on the ground and blood is pouring out of his mouth. He said, please take me to the hospital. And they all said no. Why?
I don't know what's wrong with him, but he will not get out of our truck.
Okay.
And he's got to go.
If he's having a hard time breathing, why would he be asked to leave the ambulance?
It's a wrap. Looks like they want you out.
I couldn't breathe.
They want you out, sir.
Even the EMTs are in on this horrible system of oppression.
No fight at
We
this
tried
time.
to help,
We're just trying
honey,
to get him
but
out.
the way that you got in here and the way that you just looked at us, there was no...
All right, sir. Come on.
way of
Come on.
somebody asking for help.
No games. Get out.
He's not playing a game. He said he couldn't breathe. But listen to the pig and how he's been trained to talk to people. He's been trained. He takes control of us and controls us.
So I'm here today to share that I have just learned about an incident that has me deeply concerned. Exactly 2 days ago, I became aware of an incident that occurred on November 30th, in which an individual in the care of EMTs was on the way to the hospital. And for some reason, this individual was made to exit the ambulance on a city street.
So that pain he's feeling in the shoulder and the neck right there, that's stroke or heart attack.
Okay.
277 out.
Honey, you told us you had pain from drinking water, and then you came in and you jumped at me and my friend and demanded oxygen. You would not let go of it.
You'll freak out too if you can't breathe.
I hear you. I probably try to control myself a little bit better.
What an asshole. How do you know how you're going to react when you're choking to death?
I'm not going to grab on anybody.
You grab on people every day, you lying jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section, JBTP, jackboot thug pig.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm trying to grab for the door. I'm
Okay.
trying to get out of here.
Okay. Okay. Now's your chance. All right. All right. Is that all you guys want, though? Then just out.
277 should be set for cars.
Just grab that yellow handle right there, and that should help you out.
277 all set for cars.
Did you take me to the hospital, man?
No.
We tried to take you, but honey, that was unacceptable. There was no reason for that. There was no issue.
There's a yellow handle right next to you. All right, or not.
Why can't he go to the hospital? I'm so confused. Will you take me to the hospital? And she said, we tried. If he wants to go now, you got a police escort. Go to the hospital. These are services for us. These are services for the citizens of this country. The EMT and the fire department and the police department are services.
That's it. That's all you drop.
I was flabbergasted to learn that this incident occurred on November 30th.
Okay.
Want your water?
Sidewalk's right over there.
Look at all those cops that are there to get a guy out of an ambulance who's asking for help. Our system is so broken, and we've allowed these dumb shits with high school educations, no real direction, to create the rules for pigs. And they have an autonomous organization that we don't get to see inside of. When was the last time your police department was audited? I'm talking about financially audited, where the money is going. It's going into garbage like this.
So they made him get out of the ambulance, and he walks over to this bench. And he tries to sit down on the bench, and he's clearly struggling. And very quickly after trying to sit on the bench, he ends up just falling off the bench and just going flat on the ground. Meanwhile, all these police officers are standing around. All of these medical personnel are standing around. And eventually, what's like a minute or two, they observe that he's on the ground, and they start to go over to him and finally begin to give him some medical assistance.
Is that blood or is it?
What, does he have cooties or something? I thought you had murder gloves on for a reason. Roll the guy over.
Okay.
Bye.
Boss. Oh.
I grab your phone.
What happened?
Wow, I hope she gets fired. I hope she loses her medical license. Yeah, bitch. That's what you just did. He's dying.
Here's what we know at this point. We know that police were called to the ambulance to address some type of situation. We also know that the police were there to hold this medical scene. And I can tell you that even though this was not a police incident, because we are not getting information from AMR as of yet, although we have issued a letter and we have subpoenaed records, we are asking our professional standard service from the police department to also help with this investigation, because even though this was a medical scene, there are always lessons to be learned, particularly as it relates to what type of ambulance services or medical services our community are experiencing. I have asked AMR to conduct its own in-depth investigation into what happened that night.
That is the mayor of Rochester talking about a man who was suffering from a medical emergency, who was kicked out of an ambulance in Rochester and collapsed on the sidewalk right in front of paramedics and his police officers before ultimately dying.
That is truly just disgusting. Ooh, I can just feel it burning inside of me right now. What in the holy hell are we watching here?
Grab my monitor. It's unlocked. Monitor's drug box.
We tried to help you, but instead, we're gonna kick you out, and then you're gonna collapse, and then we're gonna realize, oh shit, this man actually needed to go to the hospital.
Just lay down. Start to lay down.
Oh my god.
Grab my monitor.
Moments before he collapsed on the ground and blood is pouring out of his mouth, he said, please take me to the hospital. And they all said no. Why? Why? Why did they say no?
I want to understand why they chose to call the police. I want to understand why personnel required someone in distress to be removed from an ambulance instead of being taken directly to the hospital. We must get to the bottom of this. We must understand how and why this occurred, and we must identify processes and safeguards to ensure that this does not ever happen again. And most importantly, we must make sure that those who are caring for city residents provide them with the same level of care and compassion that they will provide their own loved ones.
The care and compassion that they would provide their own mothers. That is the entire problem with policing in America and government for the most part.
They literally don't care that you're dying in front of them. That's the system that's been created, that we are subjects and perpetrators, but we're not humans. The subject, you'll hear cops say, well, the subject was going, the subject, you mean Tom or Mary or Bill or Wakan? Whatever their name is, you can't call them by their name. No, they call them subject. We're paying for an organization to oppress us. Your tax dollars are spent on wars, bombs, cops, and cages. None of it is spent for you. We're living in a complete dystopian police state. Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.